So welcome to this machine. This one is the Windows Active. It sounds it's an easy to medium difficulty machine, but honestly, if you compare it to Forest, which I've done previously, I would rate this one as easy compared to Forest, as this one has a lot less steps to get to administrator. There's maybe one or two commands which are quite far-fetched, and I had to look up like where did they get it from. And even now I still don't really understand the queries, but I'll get into it in a second. So first of all, you want to run mmap scan. I've already ran it. You can just use the mmap. You can just use the mmap on SV, so it's standard version, standard scripts. And I think if I did output as well, you will get this results. First of all, the first port that's going to be open is going to be DNS. How you can interact with DNS is you can use a DNS transfer. That's one of the ways you can sort of ask for more information from the server. AXFR is going to be the, actually I'm not really familiar with it, dig /AXFR, and this one should be, should be right here. This one is going to be incremental zone transfer. So it's going to look through everything. So if it finds subdirectories, it's going to show it to you. So it's going to say, for example, if you have website.nl or something else, it will also show you if it has, for example, vhost.website.nl, right? So it's going to be some subdomain. It could be, for example, dev dot is something you might see, or shop dot, right? It could be one of those. Second thing is port 88, which is Kerberos. If you have a known username list, you could run a scan to see if someone has Kerberos pre-authentication enabled. One way you could use it is this one. So you will check on active detector box, and I don't have it added to my host file, I think, as of now. So I'm gonna have to do that. Then we're just gonna have to 10.10.100, and it's gonna be active.hackthebox. This one should be it. If I run this now, which I should, it's not showing. It should sort of scan for these names and see if there's some pre-authentication enabled. But it's just gonna show a lot of errors, and it's not gonna find anything because we don't have to enter through Kerberos pre-authentication. All right, next one is port 135. Which is the Windows RPC, which is the remote procedure call. On some Asian machines, so I had to do a yawn. On some Asian machines, you can actually access it over RPC client. So RPC client, it's going to be the user as null, and it's going to have try to sort of access it for you. It's not allowed in this one. Next up is the NetBIOS session service. This one is also for file sharing. I think it's somewhat similar to SMP, but it's not the same. One tool you can use, Enum for Linux. It's not going to find anything, but it's basically going to brute force some users and see if it finds anything, but it's not going to do. Next up is LDAP. What you can do is LDAP for is to, for example, search for some more specific information. If, for example, you don't know a username, and it is allowed to check using that one. So we're just going to use this one. And it says successful bind must be completed on the connection. All right, so this one is also not working. Next up is SMB. And this one, you can just use SMB client. And this one will be our thingy. We're just going to go for a null because we're not going to authenticate. And we're just going to list whatever is in here. So we will see what kind of things we get. We can now use SMB map to see if we have write access or read access to one of those. But if you just quickly go into, for example, one, admin star, or sorry, $, you'll see we have empty access filled. The only one we have access to is replication. So you can see we actually get into the box. Okay, cool. You can look through this manually, but there's a lot of files because it's essentially a complete Windows system. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna do recurse on. So it's gonna recursively go through each folder if it finds something. And I'm gonna do prompt off. This way, if I now do ls, it's going to do it recursively. So it's showing every single detail, right? Every single file that is found. It's not a lot, but it's a lot easier to find files this way. So I'm just going to look if there's something interesting. So I'm just going to hover over where my mouse is. So we have policies, not really interesting. Then we have nothing here, nothing here. These are all just also files, and GPT.ini is also not going to deliver anything. Not interesting, not interesting. Registry.pol might be interesting, but I'm not really familiar with how I can work with that. And there is this one, which I have no idea about, but the only one that actually stands out is groups.xml. So I want to download this. If I want to download this, it's better to put it in a different folder. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a folder which is going to be SMB output, and I'm just going to go into here, and then we're going to connect again, right? I saw where this file was. I want to download this one specifically. This is not the correct one, sorry. But I'm just going to download everything, all right? So I'm just going to go into recurse on, and then we're going to do prompt off, and then mget star. This is going to be the command to get every single file. You can see mget here as well. If I can see it, we have mget. So I think you can do help mget, get all the matching files. So you could do, for example, mget star.xml, which is only going to bring you no such file listing. I thought the groups.xml was there. Okay, mget star, and this one should download it. I'm not sure why this, okay, look, group.xml is here. Why can't it download mget groups star? Okay, I'm not sure why it doesn't find it. Anyway, we have this thing now, and I said I was interested in this file, in this groups.xml file. We're gonna have to go through these as it's not like Windows, or yeah, it's not Windows, it's not gonna work with this one. Like this. I think this one should cat it. Yeah, so this is the file we see. So this is going to be the SID of the user. Then with the name is svctgs. I'm just going to have to do it here. Like this is then our username. And then we have changed when, UID is this one, new name, full name, and C password, which is also going to be interesting. So this is the one I want to save. Okay. This is basically my credentials. So what you can do is do echo, and then we're just gonna have to do this into credentials.txt. Right, now if I just want to look back at it, I do have these credentials and I can use them. Because you can try now a bunch of things with these credentials. First off, what is a C password? You can look up, for example, what is a C password? It's gonna be used for setting password for the group policy preferences, okay? Using a weak encryption algorithm, which can be easily decrypted and used for lateral movement. So, how to decrypt C password. Let's see what we have. So I'm seeing GPP. I prefer to use Kali tools because they mean they're already installed on my system. So just going to use GPP decrypt with its string. So that should be really easy to use. So I'm just going to copy the password file, the password thingy. I'm going to do GPP decrypt, and I'm going to have to copy it in. And there we get GPP still stranding. So it's going to be, what's GPP again? Weak encryption. I don't know, it's a weak encryption. So we actually got this password. Where can we use it? We can try to log in as this user. And I think you can do it using inpacket WMI exec, I believe is one. And then I have to do help because I'm not sure what the things are. Then I'm gonna be doing a DC IP on 10.10.10.100 and the user of, where is it? Seeing user. Is it? Oh, here, domain username. So these are potential arguments. So svctgs, and then we have password, maybe. Okay, I'm not really sure how to use this one. Damn it. Right, I'm just going to continue, but this one is not going to allow you to access it. What we can actually connect to is through the SMB client. So what I'll do is I'll just go to SMB client. And instead of going inside replication, we actually want to log in as some specific user. So we're just going to log in as svctgs, and then we have the password, which is going to be this GPP still stranding strong. I believe this is the one we, no, this is not how it works. Wait, password is going to be string. Okay, but is there a shorter one for password? I'll just do password. Password is going to be this one. We have nothing. That's weird. Failed logon failure. Let's see. SMB client help. Let's see. Oh, okay. Sorry. We have to do username percentage password. Oh, okay. All right. We can do that. So it's just going to be user percentage. Oh, I'm doing insert. I'm not doing insert. GPP. This one should be percentage like this. This might give us access. Status logon failure. Something is wrong. Anti-status logon failure. SVC. Oh, I'm having SVG. It should be SVC, which was inside the password. Yeah, okay, so now we can connect as this user's one. We want to connect to the user share, so let's just go to the user share, and we see we actually get connection. So that's pretty cool. I think our next step is going to be inside SVC TGS, and I think this is just going to be the flag as of now. So I'm just going to go to his desktop. Yeah, so there we have the flag already. So that's just to get it. And if we just cat it, use it txt, we can see the flag here. That's pretty cool. Now this next step was, I think, the most difficult part from this machine, as I didn't use it before. But what we're going to do, we're going to use this LDAP search now, and we're actually going to log in. So it's similar to this one, only that we're going to log in now. Okay. So this one is simple authentication, which is fine. Then we have the host, which is good, and then we have the scope, which is going to be sub, and this means it's going to go to everything recursively, which is the one we want because we want to find everything. This is going to be the base, which also correctly set, and then we have to do, how do we do the username again? Yeah, so it's called bind dn. I said like you can't bind, right? And then the password, here, bind password. So this one is for simple authentication. So we have to use this D flag and the password flag. Luckily we know them. So this one is going to be SVGC TGS. I'm making the same mistake again. And then this one is going to be the GPP still standing strong. I'm just going to do encapsulation. This might give me some results. So this gives me a lot of results, right? I'm going to just go through them. So this gives you a lot of results. And it's honestly quite hard to go through these things and find some information you want. And I believe one of the attacks you can do is look for users which are enabled. And this is where I have to look at my notes because I'm really not sure. I can't use arrows up. That's so weird. It just goes up sometimes. Okay, this one is going to be the one we use. And now we're going to do some querying. So what I'll do, first of all, I'm just going to do this query. So it's going to be object cat. Is it? No, sorry, it's a normal parentheses. Object category. It's going to be person. I believe this is one of the first one we want. We're getting still a lot of things, but I do believe we're getting less results, which is good. Yeah, so we're getting less results. So any information should be here. So I'm seeing administrator. Let's see what else is there. I'll just filter on SAM account name. I can't use arrows again. Okay, that's weird. So we have SAM account like this. And then we already see some users. No, wait, we don't. This is the SAM account name. SAM account name. Do I have to do the full name? What's wrong with this one? Oh wait, I think it's this. Yeah, okay. So we have it's search. So we have these administrators. So we administrator, guest, care, BTGG, SVG. So these one are the accounts. The only problem now is these could be disabled, so you can't actually access them. Now in this case, it's not a big problem as it's only 4 users, but to actually get over this was quite difficult because you have to use some quite difficult ruling. So we have to use this LDAP matching rule bit and, which is supposed to come from this LDAP search. And it says matches found only if all bits from the attribute match operator value. And then we have the query. Okay, so I'm just going to copy it in because it's quite a lot. Okay. This one is going to be our new query now. This one. And honestly, I wasn't sure how to get to this. It doesn't even matter for the step, but it's showing, sorry. Then we have, SAM account name. It's still showing these. Okay, I'm not really familiar anymore, but this is one is supposed to be the user account control, which is going to be some value. And then we have this AND operation. It's going to check if it's 2, and I believe this one is going to be 10 in binary. And for some reason, if it's not matching, so it is matching, it results in giving you the username. But honestly, it's just 4 accounts, and if you want to see these results, you can just do this. So I'll just remove this. And if you want some clear results, because this one is going to give you like these results, right? You can do a grab on Sema, for example, and you will see these accounts. Honestly, I'm not sure why they make it so difficult, but that was what is in the walkthrough, and you don't even need it. That's the thing. So now that we see these accounts, we can actually use get auto users. Nice. And then we have to do an ask because we want to get all the users, and then we're going to do active.hackthebox, which is the domain, and then we have to do the user which we want to get it to, because this one has this thing enabled. And you will see you can actually, oh sorry, I have to do this password. Dead. You will still see here it's never and never, which is might be an installation. Sorry, might point out that they have never been logged on because they're disabled. Might be or just they haven't been used in a long time. But we can see we have administrator and SVC TGS. So we can now actually try to do a how do you call it? I think this one is the get users SPN. I'm just gonna have to run it in packet get users service principal names. Then we have to activate the hack the box / SVC TGS DC IP standard 100. And we still have to do the password. And we see we actually get the service principal name of the user administrator. And I think the attack works now is we can try to request this ticket for this administrator. So it has actually just not been correctly set. And we see we actually get this this hash file. So I'm just gonna save this to a hash. So vim hash, and I'm just gonna quit it. And I want to use hashcat to crack it. So hashcat and you can just leave it as nothing here as m, and it's gonna try to crack it itself. So it's gonna be hash and then /user/share /word list and then rock.txt and then force. So it's gonna what's force again? Oh, sorry. What's force? Force was ignore warnings. That's also a good one. Right, so we're gonna use this one, and it can actually crack it. But if you do this this way, it's just gonna take longer to recognize what kind of module you'll be using. So I like to copy this first bit and go to hashcat examples. And if we go to these examples, you can actually just find whatever it is that you're looking for. In this case, it's only one matching. It's going to be the 13,100 rule. And there's nothing else. So sometimes you see more results, but this one is just the only specific one. So we can use that one. It's going to crack it. Might take a minute or so. It's like hack the box is built on, so every single computer should be able to crack it. So it's not going to take, it should not take long. Yeah. So we already got it. So it's going to be Ticketmaster 1986. The way you can try to go into the SMB client thing again, login. But in this case, it's just going to be the password of the user, and you can actually just log in. So in packet, and you can use Windows exec. It's going to be Windows, I think was some remote executive exec thing. I'm not really sure. But we're not going to log in as this user. In this case, we want to log in as this administrator, and then we have Ticketmaster like this, right? Connection 445. So it's it's not 445. Wait. How do I do this again? Help. What should the command look like? We have the password, so I'm not seeing like username and password. Wait, let me try. In packet exec log in. See some example on how it works. Oh, here. Oh, it's gonna be domain user. Oh, that's a long. Wait, let me just. Okay, so it's doing it like this. Oh, okay. We can do that. So we don't need DCMP. think. Well, it might be set. So it's going to be domain, so it's active.hack-the-box / and then we have administrator, ticketmaster at 10.10.10.100. This might be it. And then we logged in actually. So let's just go into the users, and then we have administrator. And then we go into his desktop. And we type this root.exe. So this one is going to be the flag. It was honestly quite, it wasn't difficult, but it's just, you sort of have to know your way through it. And I used ChatGPT to just ask, right, I have these ports open. What can I try to use for the next step to get into this machine? And sometimes it gives great results, but it's really not sophisticated. So it might work for easy machines, but it's not going to give you some results if you, for example, have a more difficult machine, which requires a more sophisticated attack, which you actually have to manually go through. So I'm trying to sort of step off of this method I'm using, but it just gives me a lot of results rather quickly compared to just doing research on my own. So this was the machine.